Good evening, Marty Braden here. It's day 34, the 3rd of February, and the beginning of what I think is going to be a really exciting but very busy week. I'm going to start by showing you my to-do list right here. You can see the yellow highlighted important ones. There's my Monday right there. I have this to-do list and I got it done today, but I started by checking my bank accounts and then I checked my email inbox. Like I said, that first thing I do every time I come up to my office, I get those two things out of the way. And I saw that I had a few things that I needed to add to my list. I was so busy throughout the day and even into the evening so that I really didn't have much time to watch TV. That's one of my goals, how much time I was going to shave off. I didn't have to worry about it because I cut off at least 2 hours tonight because Kathleen had some things going, I had some things going, and it just wasn't the time to watch the TV. I want to mention a few tasks that I got done, though, however, even adding those extra tasks. Oh, I should take this. Bam! Done! Good job, Marty. I want to show you this book. It's one of my things I added to my list of do now is to do reading the power of the plus factor. And so I'm going to read just a little bit to give you a sense of what I've been feeding my mind, what thoughts, which is so powerful, and getting these three minds of mine aligned. This one's called the plus factor and creative dreaming. Do you sometimes feel that you are living below your potential? Are you ever troubled by the thought that greater energies, more creative ideas, and problem-solving capacities are locked away inside you? If so, you're not alone. We all have such feelings from time to time. Why don't we have it every minute, you ask, of every hour? Because we let certain things block it. Ignorance can block it. Fear can block it. Hatred, envy, anger, anxiety, negative thoughts especially, selfish actions, all these things can keep the plus factor from functioning. Some of it may get through, enough perhaps to keep us going barely, but it will be only a trickle instead of a powerful force that it's supposed to be. Unfortunately, just as there are attitudes and actions that narrow the flow of power, there are some that widen the channel and let more and more power through into your capacity and your abilities and your dreaming. Those three amigos can help open up that channel and let that power flow. The first step to take in order to start the plus factor operating in your life is to learn to be a creative dreamer. That's all I'm going to read. That is such an exciting book. There's so many wonderful things that I know I'm going to enjoy. I'm spending about 8 to 15 minutes on reading, doing about 8 pages a day. Before you know it, I'll have the book done and February will be over. So I wanted to show you that. Mr. Pielak has 20 of those books, but this one's been a fun one. Yesterday, I talked a little bit about my introductory podcast. It's really important because it's going to play a big role in my marketing to secure names and email addresses of my potential clients. You know, you start out with strangers. There's just lots of strangers out there. You want to narrow down what's the niche of folks you can think that appeal these folks that are ambitious, entrepreneurs, minded, that kind of thing. I want to find those strangers and get them into an acquaintance situation. And I got to have that introductory podcast that creates that attention or curiosity, that especially since I've set the goal to launch by the end of March. I've got a lot to get done. So I want to show you this picture of the podcast here. Right there. I want to read some of these. Let me just click here. Starting is half done. Follow up, follow through. Take ownership of your business. A millionaire's mentality. Core, 8 steps to financial freedom. Filling the gap. Win the morning, win the day. Legitimize your business. These are all under the title of Mindset is Everything. That's the name of my podcast series. And each of these titles I then have to flesh out and write up the script and dialogue and then record it. And then they're there that folks can come in and listen to. And I want to find one that's going to be my introductory podcast and pull them in and fill up a little form, capture their name and email, and then start to mark them to move them along the different buckets into the final where they become a customer, which is a client. So I'm so excited to script this out, this first one, and get that done. And lastly, here's a list of my 12 coaching lessons. I want to spend just a moment on that. A lot of thoughts that I had here today. Like I said, I want to take a moment to tell you why I decided to call my coaching service Your Journey to Business Alignment. Your Journey to Business Alignment. 12 coaching lessons for beginner entrepreneurs. The mindset is everything is topics that get the mind and all the three minds aligned and getting this right thinking, the power of the mind working in your goal of doing this, starting your business and getting it to launch. but it's really a mind game and a mind situation where you get the right thinking happening so that when you go to look at these steps, your mind's working right. So the first one that I have, lesson 1 of the 12 coaching lessons for the beginner entrepreneur, that's it, your journey to business alignment, 12 coaching lessons for beginner entrepreneurs. Number 1, the first step to success is to get honest with yourself. To have a whole scripted out of that, a video that I talk about that and certain principles that why is the first step to success is to get honest with yourself. Because I just talked about the blocking we do in our thinking, and we speak the wrong things, and we have lots of things that we say, oh, I don't know why. Of course you do. It's your thoughts. We've talked about that. Number 2, how to come up with your business idea and business model, whether it's going to be a brick and mortar or work out of your home or just strictly an internet or an e-commerce business. What's your business model going to be that can best serve your business idea? Third lesson, identify your target market. What's your niche? Who are the groups you're going to, you just can't say, oh, there's millions of people out there, so I'll just call it to millions of people and hopefully it'll work. No, you got to get smart about identifying and narrowing down your niche, your target market, and then go to market to them. Number 4, research your competitors. Oh, that's a fun one. That's a whole dialogue of stuff about that. And I'm looking forward to flesh that out because you can learn so much by going to the number 1 competitor that it is. Even if you might think you don't have a competitor, there are some competitors to what you're doing. And you go online, put some keywords, and boom, you see their websites. And you see how they're advertising. You see what their tagline is. What's their story? What are they holding up the key points about who they are? What are they saying their differentiators are? That's what we're going to talk about and have a great lesson on researching your competitors so that you're informed. Knowing who your competitor is really can help you conquer that and take ownership and dominate the market because you're going to do things beyond what they do. So we're going to talk about that. Lesson 5, define your unique proposition. What are your differentiators? Now, many times a small business owner, they are the business. Even though they market or do a service, people trust you, not just the products. When you get to huge product, which become the product's everything, maybe not so much the person, the face of the company, but right now you are the face of your business. And so you got to ask what your differentiators are. Are you an expert in what you're talking about? Or if you're not, you're just going to learn. We need to get ready to discuss what those differentiators are and how you're going to tell that story. Number 7, come up with the budget. Oh, so number 6, test your business idea. That's right. You got to test. A/B testing, all that kind of thing. You heard about that. But testing, maybe you've got an idea that you find out, oh, this is exhausting. This is awful. I didn't know I was going to take that. Or, man, that's exciting. I'm so excited. I've got the idea. So that's what the testing lesson is going to be about. Number 7, come up with a budget. Now, I'm not talking about getting money to go. That's another one lesson. But this one is coming up with a budget. In other words, you have a little small office and you got a little laptop and you got paper and ink and a printer and a power, electricity, and you got a little bit of advertising. You got a little secretary or not. Maybe you're wearing all the hats. I don't know. But you price that out of what expenses that you have and what marketing expenses are, what advertising expenses are, and then your income. So what's coming in and what's going out. I have a Excel program that is what I call a pro forma program that you can put in all the factors and what the costs are and what your income from certain sales are and what you think the sales are going to be. And you put those factors in and then boom, and it prints it out what it is for the month, the next month, all the way for a full year and 2 year and 3 year. You can see if they're going to renew the second year. All that's going to be in this little pro forma program, and I can use that to help you as a business, show you how to use that to help you plan out your costs, what your budget's going to be. Number 8 lesson is choose your legal structure. Now, whether that be a sole proprietorship or an LLC or a corporation or whatever, it takes about $50,000 in net income to really justify doing an LLC and having all the rules and that kind of thing. And so we're going to start out with a little bank account that's your personal bank account, but do a little DBA name on it, and it can start so that you don't get the bank's noses in your business yet until some really things get on happening. But just don't ever mix the money's coming in from the business with your personal account. Don't say, I'm just using my household expense for now, I'll pay this, and you got to chase that check down. No, strictly set up a little account. I don't care if it costs you $25. You have to have it in there to have that account. You're going to thank me to never use your personal to mix it with that. So even if you start out with a little bank account and a little Excel, money's in, money's out. So there's that lesson. Number 10, finance your business. Now you got to come up with ideas, and we're going to talk about a lot of ideas, how to get the money in to launch and get it going until you really start to get a bunch of sales. Maybe 1 or 2, 3 sales that does it, and you're off and going. I don't know. Maybe you've got to have $500 or $1,000 base each month for 6 months out to get it launched. Most times, a lot of business to have some kind of a little seed money to get it going, and then off and going. So we're going to talk about that in lesson 10. And lesson 11 is write up your story, your approach, your offer. Well, that's the big deal. Your story needs to ring true. There are some folks that are real slick-lipped, and you listen to them and you go, what am I feeling? Why am I not getting excited about it? Because you don't hear the music behind their words. That's what this is all about, is your story that you're going to be telling, and then it's going to, out of that story is birthed all your approaches, all your comments, all your taglines, all the one-liners. If there's no music behind your words, that it's real and that they're honest and it's exciting, your prospective clients and customers are going to feel that, and they're going to reject it. Even if you're doing it online, it's messaging and campaigns and stories that way. You've got to make sure the story has the music behind the words. So that's a lesson. And number 12, market your business. Get it launched and marketing it and getting those customers coming in, how to follow up and follow through, all that kind of thing, and filling the gap. All those are going to be part of that discussion of lesson 12. So there's 12 lessons, and the launch is gone. There's going to be a lot of conversation, but a lot of the mind stuff through the podcast and through this, that coaching is going to help you get through the humps. And I hopefully will be there, your best cheerleader, to help you work through it step by step and launch your business. So I thought that was so great. Your journey to business alignment, 12 coaching lessons for beginner entrepreneurs. I've got them pretty well settled down there, and I'm so excited about it. Now, I decided that there's going to be 3 levels of coaching, 3 entry levels of coaching. First is for just the folks that are not sure, and I don't want them to feel the pressure, big, huge cost. So I did first is a member subscription that potential clients can come in and pay $50 a month to join be a member of the website. So they have login, and now they're access to all the content for coaching and things that are going to start from that month and going forward. They have access to the monthly content of the webinar calls, the Q&A webinar calls, the Tuesday and Thursday emails, the when the morning, when the day email on Tuesday, and end your day success routine, Thursday emails, thoughts to help you in those starting strong, continuing strong, and ending strong. Those kind of things are all going to be on the website, that they'll have access to that. And they, as a client, if they choose to do this, can be coached on the webinar call. In other words, there'll be a webinar call that somebody can, the 4 or 5 that I'll do to coach them in their business that everybody can listen in on, but they'll get chosen to do a call one-on-one. It won't be private, but it'll be a coaching call. And that's all part of this $50 a month. But if they want a private one-on-one coaching lesson, they then have to pay an additional $50 on that month. They paid $50, another $50 for a total of $100, and they'll get a private coaching situation. Now, if they want another one again in the same month, they got to pay another $100 because it's just a $50 a month subscription membership. So if they want to have more than one private coaching in any given month, then it's $100. But it's for the first one, you've already paid $50 for the membership, so another $50 gets that one coaching for the month. And they can be spotted here and there, but I'm going to do the lesson 1, and then if the next time you do it, we'll do a lesson 2 or whatever. The second entry level of coaching is the 12-month coaching package, where you get 1 lesson a month for 12 months, and I just went through them. You still have the membership and the coaching and all that kind of thing, and all this webinar Q&As and webinar calls that people participate in. You get access to all to that, but you'll have 1 private coaching lesson per month for 12 months, if you want to take that long. Third is the third entry level of a 3-month coaching package. That's really the package I want to get folks to sign up for. They could be members, they'll be subscribed to members, they have access to everything on the website, like everything I said, but the lessons are condensed into 3 months. 4 lessons a month, 1 a week for 4 weeks, 1 a week for 4 weeks, 1 a week for 4 weeks. 12 coaching packs, so they're 3 months. Whew, it's a nice increase all the way up to launch. So it's everything included, all the other 2, but they get a private coaching lesson every week. And then all the other information, access to the podcast and that kind of thing. So that's quite a fun package. And that's really the package, like I said, I want to do. All 3 of these entry levels, the $50 a month, the $100 a month, or the $100 a week coaching lesson, because that's what it's going to cost. $1,200. They're all $1,200. The first one is $1,200 when you finally work through the 12 lessons when you ever get them. The second one is $100 a month, but it's over a 12-month period. Or the third one is condensed and it's powerful and it's $1,200, $400 a month for 3 months, and you're off and going. That's a good little investment to get. And then online continuing coaching that I'll be there and available for. But like I said, all three of folks who sign up will have their own subscription membership, but they'll all get the Instant Manifestation Secret Audio Serials by Croy Sether. I'll purchase that for them. And in addition to that, depending which one of the three entry levels you take or a person takes, I'll be giving 100% money back guarantee on their first coaching experience session. So whether it's they pay the extra $50 and have a session, they didn't like it, I'll give their $50 back. If they pay the $100 for a coaching session over once a month for a year, their first one they did and they don't like it, I'll cancel the relationship and I'll give their $100 back. If they do the 3-month package and that first week's coaching they don't like, I'll give the $100 back and they're done. So I want to make sure that their coaching experience with me is exciting, but if they love it, then they'll do the 12-month program or they'll do the 3-month program and you're locked in after that. That's how these pricing I've decided what I'm going to go through. So all three of these entry levels are simple and straightforward. But I think, like I said, the 3-month coaching program with the 12 lessons, one per week, is the best one, I think, for the beginner entrepreneur who wants to start their business and get making money as soon as they can. Those 12 lessons cover how to start a business all the way up to where they launch their business. And if you can get it done in 3 months and go through the coaching once a week, that's how it's going to work. All three entry-level coaching levels will include, like I said, the Croy Sether programs. Every bit of those audios they'll have access to, and I'll be coaching how to set that up and when to listen and what to listen first and how it aligns to my coaching lessons. It's going to be great because these pieces are complex though, because I've got to script them out and then I got to record them. So I've got to come up with the content and script it out and then record it. I'm going to be pressed to get them all done by the end of March, but I believe it's possible. And my power statement then, as I think about that for tomorrow, is this: if I only get the headings, titles figured out and corrected on my podcasts and lessons creatives, that's the last thing I ought to do, because I figured out what each one's topic and theme will be. Like I just said, I'm going to be ecstatic. In fact, I'm going to try to get the first podcast written up and ready to go. So it took a little more time than I expected to review my 12 lessons and my coaching package and firm up the titles like I just went through in sequence of how they're going to flow. Lesson 1, Lesson 2, Lesson 3, and what the right flow of my podcasts are. But I'm excited what I got done today. I was able to review them and list them out, which I just went through. It's also hard because I intend to use these podcasts and these 12 lessons with my future clients. Now, they're all going to want to put their trust in me. I'm going to want them to trust me. And their hope is going to be that I give the kind of help and direction that will give them confidence to continue on. In other words, I want to be able to share the steps of starting a business and launching their business and growing it from there. And I want to be able to feel like what I'm giving to them and expecting them to pay for and have the right expectation about, I would have the same expectation. I'd be excited about being a student of me as a coach. That's what I'm focused on, make sure it meets my standard. It's a humbling responsibility, and so I want to make sure that the content of my lessons meet their expectation, and they know that their future lessons are going to be exciting and they're benefiting. They're seeing the spiral movement upwards of positive, right thinking, and they're having successes of pieces coming through the portal of their mind for their dream and their goals. They're going to stay with it. I got to make sure that trust is not misplaced. So today was about a lot of thought time to think through all of this. Needless to say, my two amigos were very busy all day long. They were out there looking for confirmations and support material of my ideas here, bringing me new ideas, and they also did a little screaming at me when they felt I was making a change here and there that, don't do that. But all in all, it was a good day. So with that said, I want to answer my Get Honest with Myself list of questions. The first one is, what didn't go well today? Or what could you have done better, Marty? Did you wake up early and start strong? Did you start your morning with power? Next, were you productive throughout the day? Let me go back to that morning with power. You know, that morning routine, win the day routine, there's some good amount of time for mindfulness. There's a good amount of time for reading and journaling. So during that time, I threw that book in, and I'm getting 8 pages done in about 10-15 minutes time. And so I'll have that book read this month. But not only just read to check it off, but just think of the power of information that's coming in from you. That the factor, the power factor. It's just great. Let me get that right down. Yeah, the power of the plus factor I will have in place by well into February. Next, were you productive throughout your day? Did you get the most important things done? I sure did. Did you move your goals forward? Absolutely. I know what the lists are now for the two main sources of content that I'm going to be having. I'm just now going to get those fleshed out, and it's moving it forward. Pieces are coming from that portal of my mind into the world of the physical, and I'm going to record it, and done. Those videos are going to be on the website when that's built. What about your personal time with Kathleen, and were you present and loving while you were with her? Absolutely. It was a wonderful day today. Croy asked me to boil these questions down to what was the one thing out of all the things you did today, Marty, that you can improve or improve on. Well, that's something I didn't do well or that I failed at today. That's really what it's asking me to, is about having to prove on something means that I kind of failed today or didn't do it too well. I think it was that I found myself doing some of the back burner tasks in lieu of just staying focused on tasks to the important things, those yellow things. We can feel we're accomplishing a lot of things if we're busy doing a lot of things, but if we're made up of unimportant or less important things than the most important pieces that you want to get through, those pieces therefore get delayed and they don't get here in the world of physical when you wanted to when planning on it. So how can I turn this failure of doing a lot of little busyness of things and not getting big things through my portal when I should have and planned on and was expecting to get done? Well, I would say I need to learn how to choose from good, better, and best. You know, you can have a lot of good things to choose from, but choosing the best thing over all those things that are good is a success skill that I got to work on. So here's my attempt to turn this tool of success into a power statement. When I am faced with the choice of basically all good choices, I will ask myself which one will make the most important impact on my goals moving forward, and then do that one thing. It should always be the best choice. Like I said, this is a muscle called choice, and getting good at making good choices, making the best choices is even better. And the mental gymnastics that we have to go through when trying to choose the best from an assortment of good choices. That's not easy to do, but it is so important. And so as I continue to do this day to day going forward, I'll develop that muscle and it'll start to have an automatic habit of right thinking, choosing the best out of the good, better, best. The next question is, what was my biggest success today? Well, I think my biggest success today was reading 2 chapters in my new book for the month. I just gave a little taste of it, but reading this book about the plus factor and have it reaffirm what I felt about the 3 minds, particularly the vibrational mind, getting lined up and sending the 2 megos out to get that support and proof and that to make me feel that I'm on the track doing it right. That to me was my greatest success because it matches up with my goal to align my 3 minds perfectly. It's just greater support material. And so that was my greatest success today, I felt. What movie did you watch or movies did you watch in your mind today, Marty? Did you make time for them? I truly did. In fact, reading the plus factor during that time just kind of enhanced and added a whole new color and aura to my Hawaii movie and to my, the storyboard and the kind of things that the plus factors, getting those guys out, coming, my imagination really kicked in. So I'm excited about reading and having that movie time before I really launch my day. The next question is, I was supposed to ask myself is, what is the one thing you did, Marty, that made you feel successful? As I end the day success routine, as I finish that tonight, the whole experience brought power into my mind and soul. I had a great day. Like I said, a lot of thought stuff was going on in my head. And then I sat down and I breathed out chaos and all the restrictions I may have felt, whatever, and breathed in gratitude and breathed in the fact that I want to show up right. Thinking about my day and breathing out all that stuff and breathing in gratitude really allowed me to take in and review what I did for the day as I mentally answered those questions. I felt successful. I said, man, this is a great day. So just doing that end of the day really helped me feel successful. Next is, how do you want to rate your day, Marty? Well, I gave it an 8 today, and that's okay. I'm not quick to give 9s or 10s, but 8, 9, right around there, I'm just thrilled. Next, Croy asks, if this was the only thing you get done tomorrow, but you'd still feel like a success, what would that one thing be? And then put it into a power statement for tomorrow. So here it is. Get one podcast scripted out and ready to record. Oh, I'm a little nervous about that, but I believe it's possible. The podcast to get done first should be the introductory podcast. So that was my power statement. In my movie Plane, I pre-played recording the first step to success is to get honest with yourself. That's what kicked in. It was kind of fun going along with my why and the layout of my all the storyboard was that one podcast video. Got a fun picture for it, and the tagline, getting honest with yourself. That's going to be a great thing to type out, and then it's just going to record it. I think it will be a great start to something incredible. Bam! Another big goal is going to happen. That's what I feel like. Way to go, Marty. Okay, let's end my day strong. Here's what I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for full and renewing weekends. Oh, the weekend was great. I like how I can feel renewed and don't feel the huge pressure. I got to work on the Sabbath or on the Sunday where I need to really take back and rest and make it a restful day. I'm grateful for my friend and my friends who love me and want my success, that are my cheerleaders. I'm grateful for the power of a dream. Just having a dream and actually experiencing pieces of it come to the portal of my mind at the world of the physical. It's just the most exciting. This creative dream, creating capacity, I love. And that's what imagination and a dream is all about. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the power of right thinking, learning that model of consequence, thoughts, emotions, feelings, actions, and results. The key pin right there is thoughts. Having right thinking is a blessing. Great thing happens when you have right thinking, and it's a choice. I can choose to be happy. I'm 100% responsible. That's right thinking. I'm very grateful for that. So there you go, Marty. Another day into the annals of your video history. Until tomorrow, I wish you all continued success. Bye.